Simplifiers, Diana from Diana Simplifies here. How are you doing today? I have a little project I'm going to work on. Today is Tidy Tuesday. Thank you so much to Sunday Dawn from The Helpful Home. She is our host as always, and all the information that's pertinent to that will be in the description box below. So I have behind me on some of the doors, I have some really dark brown stains. I'm going to pan down and show you. So what I'm going to use, now look, you can use anything, okay? You don't need anything special. I'm going to use dishwashing liquid, and I happen to have on hand here Member's Mark. This is about the cheapest thing I can find. It's about, I think, $5 for this huge, $4 to $5 for this huge thing. Now, I have it in a smaller container, so this is an old Ajax bottle, but anyway, that's what's in here is what I just showed you. So I'm not using anything special. If you have Dawn dishwashing liquid for something like this, it could be helpful, or any dishwashing liquid, in my opinion, will work. Generally speaking, Dawn is the best, but Dawn is also extremely pricey, so we're not worried about that right now. I do take it with me when I clean houses because generally there's a larger mess when I'm cleaning a house, okay? My own house, I don't generally have the biggest mess ever. However, this mess is actually pretty big. So I have a couple of Norwex cloths. You don't need Norwex. You can use anything that's a cloth you can use. These just happen to work really well for this. Also, flat-lady cloths work just fine for this. Any sort of microfiber, whatever cloth you have around there. I have my glove because, as always, I'm not going to be touching chemicals with my bare hands. So we always need to be thinking about that, and always wear gloves. Some type of glove, my opinion. My opinion only. Okay, I'm going to pan in here and show you my cats. If you don't know, cats have oils on their face. They love to rub against anything they can find. They'll rub against me. They'll rub against my husband. They'll rub up against the dog if he lets them. And also furniture, legs, and doors. So I'm going to pan down here and show you what I'm talking about. See that big black mark down there? We're going to get closer, but this right here, that's oils from my cat's face. Now, typically, I don't let it go on that long, so usually it's not that bad. But I want to show you that with some very simple tools, nothing special. We're not going to spray anything into the air. We're not going to have anything that really has a smell. This has a little bit of a light lemon smell to it, nothing very strong. We're going to take care of that with some elbow grease and a very inexpensive cleaner. All right, so I'm gonna bring you closer so you can see what's going on, and I'm going to scrub that down, and hopefully it's all gonna go away, or at least most of it. Forgot to also mention I have a bucket of soapy water here. You don't have to have that, but because the sink is in the other room and I'm doing a video, I'm going to do that. Generally, if I'm just going around my house, I don't bother with the bucket, but since for the purposes of a video, I don't wanna be running back and forth to the sink, so we'll just do it this way. Now, all I do is I wet the cloth, and I'm gonna pour this dishwashing liquid directly on here. I'm gonna get a liberal amount. Doesn't have to be tons, but I'm gonna get enough so I can get a good scrub going on here. And then, hopefully, this is gonna come right off. And if it doesn't, then what we do is we get out our magic eraser. But, I don't know if you can see that, but it's already starting to come off. You do have to put some muscle into it. It's not going to just come off all by itself. So this part right here has already come off a lot. This is still, it's very stubborn. So I'm going to put a little bit more of this on here. Again, a decent amount. My hair's not in the way. I've got so much hair these days. I gotta get a little bit of trim going on here. So a lot of our paint is chipping off. It's been a long time since we painted. You can see paint chipping here. You can see the very strange green color here. It was like a puke green. That's what it used to be. Trim, if you can imagine that. So some of this is chipping paint, and some of this is dirt. But I have gotten a lot of it off. Okay. So see some of this right here, whoops, dropped my cloth. Some of this may be actually just the wood underneath there. Kind of hard to see, kind of hard to tell. I think I've got the majority of the actual dirt off, and that's the wood underneath. Now, when we painted this, I had my husband put up, this is actually a plastic panel right here, so it's not dirty under there. And then, because I know how my husband is, but you can see right here by the lock, it's dirty. So, let me raise it up just a tad. And then I'm gonna clean that part too. Again, put a liberal amount on here. I don't know if you can see it. And so this is not dirty right here because it's got that panel, but this is right here. And as we're going down here, this is dirty. Some of this is just we need more paint. Now, if it wasn't coming as clean as you would want, you could get your magic eraser and do the same thing. But I just wanted to show you, you do not need harmful cleaners to, you see my cat has scratched all this, to get your doors, these black marks on your doors cleaned. You don't have to be spraying a bunch of harmful cleaners in the air. Just get a little bit of dishwashing liquid, and they have safer types. You could get, I don't know, 7th generation. You could use that if you prefer. You could, what else? I think Palmolive has got some sort of clean, plant-based, whatever type. Now, I don't get into all that because most of that stuff still has chemicals in it. So I don't assume, because it says it's plant-based, is there anything that's safe about that? So, you know, but you know, you could use a little baking soda on a scrubber or something if you wanted to. If you really wanted to go with something really safe. If you can handle the smell of vinegar and water, which I cannot, but if you could use a little vinegar and water, see if it would come clean that way. But I just prefer this way because the smells don't bother me. So it's not perfect, but it's getting there. It's getting cleaner. And you could work on this as long as you need to. I wanted to make it just a quick, tiny, tidy video for today for you guys. Just a quick cleanup. And that looks good enough to me. I'm happy with it. All right, so during the editing process, which was watching it back, I saw this black mark. The cat also made that black mark right there, and you may have seen it when I was cleaning that door right there. So while I'm still here with the same cloth, the same cleaner, the same gloves and everything, I'm going to go ahead and wipe. I'll probably wipe that entire door down while I'm over there, because why not? But I have a chair sitting here where I just have stuff that I can sort of grab as I walk out the door. I tried to keep my den pretty minimal. However, occasionally I do have stuff sitting around. So just telling you ahead of time, I've got stuff sitting there, and that's what that is. All right, so I still got my glove, and I still got my bucket of water. Again, with the dishwashing liquid, just like this. And I'm gonna work on this right here. Make sure you can see it right here. They do this in my kitchen too. I notice it more in the kitchen, so I tend to wipe that down more often. And it is so much easier if you wipe this down about every 3 weeks instead of waiting until it's ground into the paint like this. But anyway, it still comes off. There's other stains on here. I don't know what some of this is. Maybe just be stray dirt. And of course, there's usually going to be some dirt right here in the crevices. So we'll just go ahead and wipe that down. Now normally when I'm cleaning somebody's house, if I've cleaned their house for years, all I have to do when I get to a door like this is get my dry Swiffer duster or whatever dry cloth I'm using and just dust this portion of their doors. But my house, I don't usually clean it quite like that. So mine, sometimes I do, but like this door, I usually don't. So this door needs a little bit more attention than say my client's house would need. Okay, there's still just a little bit right here. I'm going to concentrate on a little bit harder. Now, if you don't have enough strength, I'm really bearing down because that dirt really gets in there. If you don't have enough strength for that, just get your magic eraser because it will come off pretty quickly with that. And it's usually pretty paint safe. You can always test an inconspicuous spot if you need to. You don't want to pull your good paint off, but it's usually pretty good on paint. This floorboard, baseboard's pretty dirty right here. This, as it meets the wall right here. The cats drink out of the fountain right here, so yeah. Our cats love their fountains. Best thing we ever did was get our cats fountains. So that's still a little bit dirty, and that'd be perfect. We're just trying to get that, like this right here. I feel like that is, yeah, that's just not coming off. Sometimes my fingernail can help it along. All right, so that got most of it off anyway. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I feel like that whole door looks better now. Thanks so much for joining me for Tiny Tidy Tuesday, and I'll see you guys next week. Hope this was helpful to you. Hope it shows you a different way to clean. A quick, easy way without spraying a bunch of cleaners around. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah.